Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the All-Star Wrestling Review Series for the 23rd of August, 1980, and we are certainly in the midst of one of the hotter series, or one of the hotter eras for this program, and actually, I would say 80 through 83. If you care about the history of the sport, worth taking a look at. Hosted by Vince McMahon, Bruno Sammartino, including a ringside interview with Captain Lou Albano in the process here. WWF Intercontinental Champion Ken Patera with the Grand Wizard against Angelo Gomez. Swinging full Nelson 523 victory for the Intercontinental Champion. Patera has faced him before with varying degrees of, I won't even call it success, but proficiency might be the better word. Of course, Patera in the middle of his Intercontinental title run here. Gomez has been around, although not as much in the last few weeks on this particular program. Some amateur-style wrestling and then some front-face locks from Patera gets him where he wants to be. Side headlock takeover, followed by quick follow-ups and some really basic stuff. Driving the knee into the nature of things, and then kind of driving the knee into the side of the face. Grand Wizard calling the shots from the outside almost the entire time, and getting what he wants to out of things there. Hard shots by Patera. Patera sends his man into the buckle along the way, and again getting some Irish whips and a clothesline along the way there. Doesn't get everything he wants, but gets enough, and ultimately dropping the elbow across before hooking in that full Nelson slam, or the swinging full Nelson, which I think is a move they could easily bring back if there were people that were willing to learn to become more proficient at it. Anyway, we move forward to the next in the match series. This happening to be the Pedro Morales, Baron Mikel Cicluna 740 Sunset Flip. Pedro, without a doubt, has been on a tear since returning to the area. Baron Mikel Cicluna been around since the 1950s and is a mainstay throughout the 70s and early 80s of both the house show circuit and the television circuit. Pedro, a bit more of a brawler. Lots more punch kick mentality to him. Cicluna finds himself on the mat relatively quickly on a double leg takedown and then kind of trying to crimp the leg over. Again, we kind of get the attempted go around by Morales. Morales doesn't really want to waste a whole lot of energy. Does manage to come up from underneath and get some shots along the way there. And again, choke in the corner by Cicluna. Cicluna trying to get whatever advantage he can, small or large, doesn't matter to him, or at least doesn't seem to. And then some arm wringers, basic stuff, kicks and punches, as it were. Hard shots there by Morales, and Morales manages to stay on his adversary pretty aggressively there. Bruno Sammartino does a post-match interview with Captain Lou Albano. Basically, Albano says the Samoans aren't exactly there to protect him, and he's annoyed by it. Basically, Bruno insinuates that the captain may have some mental health issues in a much more direct way than that, and McMahon basically comes out and says that Albano does not have a good body after Albano disrobes of his shirt. Albano actually does even try to stop the interview process for a little while because he doesn't feel he's being treated fairly. Then we go to another in the series of matches here. This is a Rick Martel pinning Kid Sharkey 532 with an elbow drop and 2 drop kicks. Drop kicks actually were useful holds back then, of course, or moves back then. Of course, Martel kind of floats over, does what he can where he can. and uses the side headlocks, gets a couple of kind of roll throughs off the drop kicks, and Martel still looking to be one of the better baby faces of the time period for 1980. Again, 41 years ago, certainly a different run. Attempts at the kind of step over toe holds type maneuver, and again, there we go. Um, that's kind of where that's at. Um, then we go to the win, or another win, not a big surprise, for Hulk Hogan, managed by Freddie Blassie. Blassie has been with him almost from the beginning here in this particular area slash region. I think probably more to give Hogan a chance to be kind of the I wouldn't even say run of the mill type guy, but certainly a guy who maybe you would say is prancing and dancing and kind of being a big deal. Hogan returns with the gold and gold on the outside, purple on the royal purple on the inside robe there. 2-on-1 match for Hogan here. Hogan again, a major guy as a heel here in 1980. A lot of people are under familiar, I guess you'd call it, with that run there, but maybe not totally unfamiliar with his impact. Anyway, we continue to move forward here. Hogan, lots of power moves, not to be surprised there. Anybody who knows the Hulk Hogan wonderment knows what that's about. Hogan with Freddie Blassie defeating Lindsay, Lyle, and Steve King. Handicap match 601, pinning both men at the same time after hitting a backbreaker on Lyle and dropping him on top of King. After the bout, Vince McMahon interviews Hogan and Blassie at ringside. Basically, Hogan says that he will take the words of the general, not necessarily sure that this needs to be 6 minutes. Feels more like filling time on television. Lots of stalling by Blassie and Hogan during the early stages. Not to be surprised there, as getting extra face time for Hogan, probably what they were looking to do. Hogan kind of trying to come out of the whole foray looking as best he can. Hogan with some clotheslines, does some posing, trying to get attention for himself, doesn't get as much as he wants, but needless to say, looking like $1,000,000 in the process of what he was looking like. Then we kind of move into the next of the matches. Blassie back out, this time with his man, his charge, the Hangman, I do believe. And the Hangman with Fred Blassie here, defeating Fred Marazzo with the Hangman hold, 318. Hangman, still not really a lot is known about the Hangman, and McMahon and San Martino or Patterson and whomever is on commentary over the last several weeks doesn't really do a whole lot to try and make you care about the guy. He does a lot of punch kick stuff, really basic wrestling maneuvers, and again, the kind of over the back hangman hold, backbreaker type maneuver is there as well. That will lead us to the close of this one. We'll be back with more right after this.